Throughout the years in the College Community School District, there have been many changes in sports and extracurricular activities over the years. Over the past 60 years, there have been many sports or extracurricular activities that are not offered anymore, and there are a lot of more sports that we have added. Two sports that we don't offer today is gymnastics and pole vault. The main reason we do not offer these sports anymore is based on safety. Over the years, there were too many injuries from these sports, so they decided to discontinue them. This was also a local trend because different Cedar Rapids schools decided to discontinue them as well because of the safety issue. New sports that we obtained at Prairie were bowling, swimming, and soccer. The increase of schools has impacted the different sports as well. The increase in numbers at the school leads to the fact that we have to split teams in middle school up to 9th grade. One issue that we ran into as the schools got larger is that we needed more coaches. We didn't have enough jerseys, so athletes had to rotate jerseys when it was their time to go in. Since we're in the Mississippi Valley Conference, we had to travel much farther now.
Although there have been many changes to the sports and extracurricular activities held at Prairie, none have had as dramatic effect as the impact of Title IX. Title IX, which was introduced to the state of Iowa in 1972, states, "No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any educational program or activities receiving federal financial insurance." In simpler words, Title IX was a law that gave all female student athletes the same opportunities as all male student athletes. At first, most male athletes and coaches were upset with the idea of creating equality between male and female sports. Adding time for female sports practices created a major issue. During practices, both male and female sports had to share gym time and space. To solve the problem, Prairie wanted to expand and remodel the high school gym in 1989. It was estimated that this would cost around $3.8 million. Although the new space and remodeling was much needed, the votes failed with 57%. However, female sports continued to expand. In 2000, female athletes started to use one of the most important opportunities girls at Prairie receive today, the right to the weight room. "I never thought girls and guys would lift in the same weight room," stated Kevin Geary, who has been the varsity volleyball coach for the past 14 years. Before Title IX, female athletes were rarely seen in the weight room, and those who were clearly uncomfortable and intimidated by the boys. However, today the weight room is full of female athletes who are accepted and have great work ethics. Although lifting weights were an important breakthrough for all female athletes, it was not the only one. In 2005, the girls volleyball team created a program called Agilities. Agilities is a program that helps student athletes gain skills in moving quickly and efficiently. Shortly after the volleyball girls started these vigorous exercises, the softball girls joined in. At this time, an all-time popular men's sport, football, had its own programs and workouts. Today on Agility Mornings, the gym is jam-packed of athletes of both genders at the same time.
We have lost at Prairie over the years our chess club, SADD, Students Against Destructive Decisions, some science-based clubs and some foreign languages, anime club, gay straight alliance club, and some other math clubs and competitions. The reason these clubs no longer exist is due to lack of student interest or lack of teachers to sponsor them. Music and drama has become much more competitive over the years. There are many more practices and competitions. Also, the community around us, like other Cedar Rapids schools, are seeing the growth in their music department as well. Show choir has seemed to grow the most over the past couple of years. The audience and participants seem to become much larger each year. Over the past 60 years, there have been a lot of changes in sports and extracurricular activities, and they have shaped how the sports are played out today and for the future.
Over the years, Prairie High School Music Association has changed many things about its program. The number of children involved has increased as the school increased in size. The program is also receiving more money to be able to improve the experience that students have. The new concert hall has allowed us to have more room for our performances as well as more room for the audience. The band program started off in 1963 with auditions. The jazz band started a few years later in 1967, but it wasn't until Craig Awney came along that the band program picked up. He made the band very successful and as well as almost doubling its size. Since he came to Prairie, they have won many state contests and awards. Show choir was introduced in 1971 when Prairie was still a small school. They called themselves the 76th Street Coalition. They were rising in numbers and eventually were split into two groups, the Ambassadors, the elite group, and Focal Point. With the help and constant determination of Mr. Westphal, and now replaced by Mr. Sands and Mrs. Brummer, Prairie's show choir is competing at national levels. One might even say they're unstoppable. of the changes in show choir these days is that they have become more theatrical. Prairie is especially known now to use props in their performances. Other schools such as Kennedy have always been more theatrical, whereas Washington has stayed to its original format. But in show choir and in the plays, the style changes dramatically with what the trends of society are. If there is a popular song, the show choir is bound to put it in their performance to better catch the interest of the audience and enhance the performance. The plays have also become more modern. Prairie High School's Music Association has become a masterpiece and a model of all the work, dedication, and time put into it.